Hi friends, I'm Wani and welcome to Wani's house. Today guys, I want to talk to you guys about two TV shows. So, I told you guys that I am like the design girl from way back in the day. I was that girl who would change up my mom's house, paint a wall in my room, and just really put all types of posters and art all over my wall in my room. I have always been her. But when I was in college, there were two shows that I would literally run home to watch. And actually, one of them kind of spilled over into when I first began working, and I would run home to watch these two shows. And even when I was working, during lunchtime, I scheduled my lunch so that I could go into the break area and watch these two shows. And these two shows were on TLC, and guys, I love TLC from way back, and I'm so happy that they're now reintroducing design elements back into the decor, because they really piqued my interest. And the first show that I want to talk about that I am so happy that it's back is Trading Spaces. Guys, I love that show. And both of these shows, Trading Spaces, and the second show is While You Were Out. Second all-time favorite design show ever. And so these two shows are back on television on TLC on Saturday nights beginning at 8 o'clock. And so Eastern Standard Time, so you can check your listing wherever your area is. But guys, I had the opportunity about last year, and I looked at Trading Spaces, and it was kind of different. I didn't get into it. I don't know, I probably had a lot going on, and I really wasn't, I'm sorry, I really didn't get into it. But this past weekend, I watched Trading Spaces, and guys, I have been having a Trading Spaces and While You Were Out marathon. I am in heaven. So let me tell you about the Trading Spaces. Now, how Trading Spaces is set up is that you would conveniently trade spaces with your neighbor who wanted a certain room in their home made over. And I always dreamed that I would be on this show, and actually I would trade spaces with my cousin. My cousin doesn't live next to me, but she does live about 10 minutes away from me. So I always thought that, you know, when Mr. B and I moved here, and I was like, oh my God, we can do Trading Spaces together, but Trading Spaces had gone off of the television. So, but this show is, you trade spaces with your neighbor. You do, you remodel or make over one of their rooms that they specify. Now, back in the day, the host would decide which room you wanted them to make over. Right now, you can kind of choose the room that you would like to be made over. But Trading Spaces, they gave you $2,000, 2 days, and the designer would determine, you can kind of say, I would like something like this or whatever, and then the designer would come up with their design for the room. Now, back in the day, guys, I loved all of them. The one who I would always cringe, I said, oh my God, if they came to my house, would always be, one was Hildy. Hildy was sometimes unpredictable. She had some really unique design ideas. A lot of them I would not be happy with, but the other one would be Genevieve. Genevieve scared me. I always remember, and the one design that she did was when she glued hay to these people's walls, and I thought, oh my God, they will not speak to their neighbors ever again because they allowed her to do that. But the new Trading Spaces, like I said, comes on Saturdays at 8 o'clock. And this particular episode, we're now at episode 3 for this season. I think this is the second season of Trading Spaces. And so I look back on the other 2 episodes, and I have been like, oh, I am loving it. And so I even went back to last season's episode. So I want to talk about this season's episode. And this season we had Lori and Hilda. And Lori was actually doing, like, they were in North Carolina and they did like this sort of a Ferris wheel type thing in this bedroom. And so I'm gonna flash some pictures so you guys can kind of see like what she did. And the couple was really happy with this. I love the colors. I even love like the carousel. It's sort of, I mean, the Ferris wheel, it was like a little bit of like Art Deco art on the wall, but she said that it was supposed to look like if you were standing in the middle of the carousel, if you looked up, this is how it would look. And so I loved everything that she did to this room, and they had $2,000, so I thought they did a lot. Now with this, in this on this show, they do some DIYs, they may do some repurposing of things, and then they put a lot of design elements in it, and it was really, really pretty. Now on the other one was Hildy, and I told you guys, anytime I see something that Hildy does, I am like, yeah, I'm not quite sure about this one. And actually I'm not quite sure about what Hildy is like thinking of, but she had this was a couple's bedroom, and she had these colors in there, and they were like yellow, fuchsia, green, and she like divided the room up in quadrants, and in the middle of the floor, it's like someone just dropped paint down, and then they took it up along the floor and on side of the walls, and then like on the window, one window would be in that one color. I'm gonna show you pictures, and then the other part of the wall, and she even painted doors. Guys, if these people would have done this to my house and they're my neighbors, I'm like, yep, we did this for the floor, but you guys gonna come back over here tonight because we painting this back white. Nothing in that room to me was like realistic. I'm like, I think when you're on these types of shows, you want there to be designs that you can live with, that you can be, that reflect your personality, and you want them to be practical. This design was not practical at all, and I would be so freaking peeved off if my neighbors I know part of it is you have to go along with the design, but if there are certain things that you just know that they're not going to be down with, that you have to kind of push back. And these neighbors, they really didn't push back. They kind of questioned or whatever, but that was it. And then the other neighbors, when they were doing their house, they did a beautiful job. The room is amazing, and the wife was like, oh, she's gonna love this, she's gonna love this. But the other wife, who was at the other neighbor's house, she's like, she is going to hate me. And I was like, okay, instead of just saying that, they needed to push back more, especially when you go down and you're starting to paint the floors, and it wasn't the basement. That's one thing if it's in the basement and somewhere that you're not going to be all the time, or high traffic area, or area that you probably entertain in or have games in, the kids play in. But this was in their bedroom with all those colors going around. There is no way in heck they could have slept in that area. So guys, Trading Spaces is a great show. It is very entertaining. I am so happy it's back. And so the other show, like I said, is While You're Out. And on While You're Out, guys, Ananda Lewis is the host. I don't know if you guys remember her, but I think Ananda was on like MTV, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she is the host of this, and she does such a great job. And actually, Paige Davis is back as the host on Trading Spaces. So, you know, we always love Paige. I remember when she got married. But Ananda is the host on While You Were Out. And on this one, they actually take two different designers. So on the episode that I saw on Saturday, they had Vern Yip. You guys remember Vern from Trading Spaces? And then they had Frank. Frank was on there, and Frank is so freaking adorable to me. I've always just wanted to snuggle up and hug him. He is such a sweet teddy bear. That's the way he seems like he would be anyway. And they were working together, so they took those two designers from Trading Spaces, and then they added these two other designers, and they're from a new TLC TV show that I can't think of right now, but they seem like they did more like farmhouse like type decor and renovations. Their show is more about renovations and selling, sort of like what's that, the flipping shows, but not really. But so they were designing two houses, and on this particular episode they were designing the bed. One of them is the bedroom, both of them were bedrooms, and the other one was like a game room. And guys, they did, one of the ladies who lived in the house really had a lot of pushback, because in this show you actually get $10,000, you get 2 days, and they send one of the spouses out. So the ladies sent the guy, their husband, on some type of trip. They thought they were doing a video for something else, and they had the cameras following them. And so the designers come in, and you kind of tell them where you're going, what you would like to do, why you want to do this space for your spouse or whatever. And they kind of tell you what their design plans is. Once again, because this is your house, you can kind of push back. And one of the participants actually did push back, because this was Hilda. And Hilda, I think on this particular one episode that I saw, on this episode, they were doing the bedrooms, and in the bedrooms they wanted it to be romantic. And this designer, it wasn't Hilda, it was, oh goodness, it was another one of the designers, but sometimes he can be hit or miss. I can't think of his name now, but the other one that was there, like I said, it was Frank and oh my, I can't even think of who it was now. I'll post it. And they did a beautiful job in this bedroom. They did even art on the ceilings, and the wife wanted to do it for her husband because he had some type of medical issue, and now she was dealing with the medical issue. But she really wanted it to, you know, because for him, because all that they have gone through together. And so Frank and his teammate did a beautiful job, and as you'll see, they painted the walls this beautiful soft blue color. It looks very relaxing, and I love all the architectural details that they put in there with all the furniture and the tan tufted beds. And so I like these type of shows because it shows you like as a designer what different types of styles can mix together, and how you can kind of cut corners to bring your design together also. And so they just did a lot of work in these rooms, and the homes were already beautiful, but it's like, it's really special when you want to do something for your mate, to just show show your appreciation. And they have like so many episodes. I was just watching an episode of Georgia against UGA, and the two neighbors, the husbands were Georgia and UGA fans, and I was just watching it here, and this was Hilda again. No, it was Lori. Lori wanted to put fur on the walls. They killed me with all this stuff. She wanted to put fur on the walls to represent UGA. And on that episode, Ty Pennington is working with them. Y'all remember Ty when he used to be on those renovate. He had that renovation show, and they would renovate the houses for people, and they would build them and things like that. Mr. B loved that show. He would get so misty-eyed watching those shows, and I say, baby, you can't watch that anymore. But that just showed his sensitive side. But yeah, so Ty is on there, and so now he's actually designing and he's building. So it is really, really good. So guys, I wanted to come on here and share with you about these two new shows. I hope you guys watch them. What I'm gonna try to do is to try to come on and like give you like a commentary, because they have commentary for the housewives and all that other stuff and Married to Medicine, but these are great, guys. We can do like design commentaries, and if you watch the show, let me know what you thought about them. We can like conversate back and forth, and you know, just talk about like what we like, what we didn't like, you know, what maybe we would thought would have had worked better in the spaces. And we can also talk about some of these crazy design elements that some of these designers come up with that definitely would have been a no-go for me. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead in this video. If you are new to Wani's house, I'm Wani, and I do DIYs, home decor. I do all things lifestyle, and I would like for you to come to my house. And so make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my uploads. And lastly, leave me a comment below. I want to know what you think about Trading Spaces and While You're Out. Have you been watching them? What do you think about them? And yeah, what do you think about these designs? So guys, like I said, I'm about to leave, but before I go, you know what I always say. The next time you're in town, you can always stop by Wani's house, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.